Imagine this. Two people in the same room, the air thick with tension. One is shouting, face flushed, words stumbling over anger. The other is silent, eyes steady, breathing slow, posture unmoved. Who do you think holds the real power? You already feel it. The calm one wins. Not because they said more, but because they said nothing while saying everything. This is the paradox that intelligent people quietly understand and the world keeps misunderstanding. Calmness, when weaponized correctly, doesn't make you passive, it makes you dangerous. Society teaches you the opposite. Speak up, don't let anyone walk over you, be the loudest one in the room. Yet the louder you get, the more you reveal. Your pace of speech leaks anxiety. Your tone confesses insecurity. Your body betrays your need for control. Calmness, on the other hand, hides your cards in plain sight. It's the art of letting others expose themselves while you remain an unmovable mirror. The truly strategic mind knows that in conflict, emotion is signal, but calmness is weapon. You're about to learn how it's sharpened, forged, and used, not for manipulation or cruelty, but for intelligent self-defense in a world addicted to reaction. Think of every major negotiation you've ever witnessed, every viral confrontation, every personal argument that went off the rails. In each, the person who kept control of their internal nervous system dictated the storm around them. That's the hidden order behind chaos. If you can stay emotionally neutral while others drown in their own waves, you're not escaping reality, you're shaping it. Write this in the comments right now. My calm is my counterattack. You need that phrase tattooed on your inner psyche, because the first lie you must discard is that calmness equals softness. It's not softness, it's tension discipline. It's emotional aikido. You let their energy arrive, observe its force, redirect it, never meet it head-on. Picture someone insulting you in public. Your initial instinct burns, respond, correct, defend yourself. That's natural, but also predictable. Intelligent calm flips the pattern. You pause, let silence hang for a few seconds longer than they expect. The human brain, desperate to complete social loops, starts overcompensating. They talk more, stumble more, unravel more, while you remain still. A human void, drawing out all their impulsive chaos. The observer doesn't see inactivity. They see dominance. You didn't fight, you absorbed. Repeat this quietly under your breath. Stillness is not surrender. Every tyrant in history feared the person who would not react, because reaction is the leash of the manipulator. Your calmness cuts the leash. This is why people who live strategically do not panic when insulted, ghosted, or provoked. They turn the situation into data. The aggressive coworker reveals insecurity. The ex trying to bait you reveals attachment. The online commenter dripping with venom reveals hunger for validation. You don't need to respond to these vibrations. You need only to witness them clearly, like a scientist examining a specimen under glass. The act of seeing cleanly without reacting transforms chaos into clarity, and clarity into quiet authority. In the dark halls of social life, calmness becomes luminous. Everyone feels it, but can't explain it. They'll say you seem mysterious, hard to read, or unbothered. What they're really perceiving is someone who is broken free from emotional codependency with other people's moods. That's freedom in its highest form. But here's the uncomfortable twist. Calmness isn't natural. It's engineered through micro-decisions. You train it like a muscle. It begins with awareness that every surge of anger, every spike of anxiety is a signal, not an order. The untrained mind obeys the signal. The trained mind asks, what is this signal trying to make me do, and who benefits if I obey? When you manage to create that tiny space between impulse and action, that's where supreme calm starts living. Conflicts then become training grounds, not wars. Your screaming boss unknowingly becomes your sparring partner in emotional mastery. Every provocation becomes resistance that strengthens the muscle of control. You'll notice something eerie happens next. People misinterpret your calm as confidence and start aligning with it. Crowds unconsciously imitate emotional leaders. If you can stabilize your frequency in chaos, they will follow your rhythm. Imagine walking into a tension-filled office, everyone buzzing with blame and panic. You speak slowly, move measuredly, lower your tone instead of raising it. Within minutes, the energy shifts. Others match your pacing. Sentences soften. The room normalizes. You didn't dominate, you calibrated. This is psychological gravity, calmness as an atmospheric field, not just a personal trait. The sophisticated player uses it invisibly, diffusing hostility before it catches flame. But again, the brilliance comes with responsibility. Calmness without ethics mutates into manipulation. Used wrongly, it becomes a mask for deceit. So understand this clearly. The highest intelligence uses calmness not to overpower, but to reintroduce order, to defend peace while understanding power, to make room for deliberate choices when chaos demands reaction. Write this next to your earlier statement. My calm protects truth. These two sentences, my calm is my counterattack, and my calm protects truth, form your double shield. You'll need both, because the next layer of understanding isn't comfortable. The more you cultivate calmness, the more you'll notice others testing it. People, consciously or not, poke stillness because it unsettles them. They'll interpret your neutrality as challenge. They'll try to unmask you with sarcasm, confusion, even guilt. If you react, you validate their script. If you remain grounded, you rewrite it. Intelligent calm doesn't silence emotion. It regulates narrative. It's like being the conductor of a psychological orchestra while others are restless instruments waiting for a cue. Your composure cues them towards harmony or towards exposure. Each scenario reveals the same truth. Control of self equals control of scene. This is why calmness outperforms clever arguments. It's not about logic, it's about nervous system dominance. Whoever stays calm steers attention, time, and final interpretation. The fight ends not when you win, but when the opponent starts mirroring your rhythm. That's invisible victory. Yet this is only the entry gate, because behind calmness lies a hierarchy, an ascending series of deeper dimensions only accessible once you've tasted still power. You cannot access the higher mind until the lower mind stops screaming. At that point, people stop seeing you as a participant. They start seeing you as presence itself. And that presence is where the true game of invisible influence begins. Hold that image. The room frozen, voices dim, your breath slow, your awareness sharp as glass. You are both observer and actor, outside the storm, yet commanding the wind. The next step unveils how this composure transforms from passive shield to active architecture, how it bends outcomes quietly, permanently, and ethically from beneath the surface.
Now, picture this. You stand at the edge of a confrontation, the invisible border between your self-control and another's chaos glowing like static electricity. You feel that pulse of temptation to interrupt, to counter, to prove your point. But deep inside, a quieter voice whispers, "Wait." It's not submission, it's strategy. This is where intelligent calm evolves from a defense into design. It doesn't just stop you from reacting, it rearranges the reality around you. Because here's the deeper paradox. The world belongs not to those who shout, but to those who watch the loudest ones exhaust themselves. Every conversation, negotiation, or argument is a small battlefield of attention, and the calm person controls oxygen. When you don't need to win immediately, others start gasping for your approval, mistaking your patience for mystery. Why? Because silence makes people interpret. People hate blank space. They'll fill it with projections that often serve you better than any speech. Try this. During your next disagreement, consciously slow your tone by 30%. Lower the volume just slightly. You'll notice something strange. The other person will either mirror your calm or struggle against an invisible gravity that pulls them toward reason. This is psychological resonance, one of the hidden engines of influence. The nervous system seeks synchronization. Calmness acts like a magnetic tuning fork. But here's the darker truth that most never study. Calm people are not naturally calm. They've simply mastered the art of emotional concealment until concealment becomes conviction. The beginning is mechanical, measured breath, slower blink rate, reduced micro-reactions, but the effect becomes metaphysical. People mistake external serenity for inner peace, not realizing that calmness can exist even amid internal fire. The intelligent ones channel that fire inward for clarity instead of outward for chaos. That's the secret architecture of power. You don't stop feeling, you repurpose feeling into focus. Write this sentence as a contract with yourself. My calm is built, not inherited. Each word matters. You construct calm by conditioning it, experience by experience, conflict by conflict, until the external world no longer dictates your blood pressure or your sense of identity. Now notice what happens to those around you once your composure becomes unmistakable. Challengers pivot to respect you without understanding why. Chronic manipulators lose traction because their tactics require emotional friction that you no longer supply. It doesn't make you popular, it makes you effective. In team meetings, in family disputes, in late-night arguments, your calmness becomes the container where truth finally fits. Suddenly, people confess things to you. They trust you not because you promise safety, but because your neutrality feels like safety. Remember this observation. Calmness triggers disclosure. That's one of the quietest yet most potent forms of power, when others reveal themselves voluntarily. The influencer who radiates steadiness collects information effortlessly, while others deplete themselves performing for attention. But this must be anchored ethically, because once you realize how effortlessly calmness shapes behavior, you might be tempted to use it as camouflage, to manipulate outcomes without transparency. The antidote is intention. Every time you stabilize a moment, ask yourself, am I preserving truth or choreographing illusion? That self-question keeps your calm clean. The greatest masters of composure, leaders, negotiators, even spiritual figures, didn't use it to dominate conversations. They used it to clarify them. You're not aspiring to chill detachment. You're aiming for directed serenity, capable of moral temperature control. Imagine yourself walking through a crowded marketplace, voices pushing, screens flashing, arguments flaring, but you move like a steady metronome. The chaos organizes itself around you. That's the moment you realize intelligence isn't measured by what you know, but by how little can make you panic. Each time you maintain calm when provoked, your nervous system rewires. New neural pathways built for courage under silence. There's science under the poetry. Slow breathing activates the vagus nerve, reducing fight or flight impulses, which grants you access to higher cognitive reasoning while others shut down. Your body literally moves you into advantage. The crude call this code. The wise call it command. Remember those who tried to lure you into emotional traps just to watch you flinch? partners who thrived on argument, colleagues addicted to proving superiority. You used to dance their dance, not anymore, because now you understand that participation is permission. If they control your mood, they control your mind. Calmness revokes their license. Write this in the comments. Participation is permission. I stay sovereign. Feel how those words land. They're shields forged from awareness. But real composure isn't static. It's dynamic equilibrium. You can adapt without reacting, flex without fracture. In high-stakes environments, corporate negotiations, digital debates, political arenas, the truly intelligent appear relaxed precisely when stakes spike. It's reverse drama. Your calm becomes suspense for everyone else. They wait for your move, misinterpret your silence, overestimate your plan. And in that fertile confusion, you guide outcomes gently. 1 minute of authentic calm can rewrite an hour of chaos. Yet this power comes with its own strange loneliness. The higher you climb in composure, the fewer people you can talk to about the climb. Most want your reaction to validate their narrative. Few can coexist inside your quiet. That's why intelligent calm demands solitude as fuel. Not isolation out of bitterness, but solitude as maintenance. You recharge not through stimulation, but through stillness. You begin to enjoy pauses as luxury items. Think of elite artisans. A violin maker pauses to hear the timbers whisper. A chess grandmaster pauses not out of hesitation, but out of respect for complexity. That's you now. Every pause deliberate, every moment an echo chamber for insight. But pause too long and you risk detachment without empathy. So remind yourself, ethical calm feels everything, it just doesn't act recklessly on anything. It's empathy wrapped in discipline. And when people finally learn that your stillness isn't weakness, but containment, they'll start bringing you problems instead of conflict, seeking your silent blueprint. The paradox deepens. The calmer you become, the more turbulence finds you, because chaos is magnetized toward order. Hold that thought at the edge of your mind, because the next unveiling will guide you into the mechanics of invisible persuasion, how calmness doesn't merely end conflict, but redirects it, transforms it, sculpts it into invisible architecture through which outcomes quietly obey you. The still one in the storm doesn't just survive, they sculpt the storm itself.
And now, we step into the most unsettling layer of this art. The moment calmness stops being merely personal control and starts bending external reality, not through mysticism, but through micro-psychology. Imagine walking into an argument that's halfway exploded. Two people are red-faced, hands flailing, sentences colliding. You do not side with one. You do not mirror their heat. You take one measured breath and lower your tone so much that people must lean in to hear you. Instantly, you become the gravitational center of the conflict. Why? Because attention follows regulation. The human nervous system is an echo chamber. It synchronizes toward whatever frequency seems most stable. That's the first invisible principle. Whoever regulates, rules. But let's go darker, deeper. Emotional chaos is currency. Most social games, political, romantic, business, are powered by the trading of reactivity. Whoever gets you to react gets paid with your focus. Calmness means you stop paying. The manipulator in your office who provokes tension feeds on your micro-expressions. The ex who texts at midnight to check in feeds on your reply latency. The social media provocateur feeds on your outrage. When you remain calm, their economy collapses. That silence you give them becomes starvation. Yet paradoxically, They become obsessed with winning you back, because the calm one now represents psychological scarcity. You've become the prize resource, the stable one in an ecosystem of emotional volatility. That's the second principle. Deprivation turns calmness into magnetism. Write this below your earlier affirmations. My calm is rare, so it attracts. Notice the weight of that realization. It frames your peace as value, not vacancy. The next layer is perception. Calm people are perceived as more competent, intelligent, and trustworthy, not because they always are, but because composure creates cognitive illusions of control. People project onto emotional blanks. That's how leaders emerge in crises. They appear steady while others dissolve. You can leverage this ethically. When everyone panics, you breathe slower. When everyone speculates wildly, you pose one focused question. When noise expands, you compress your words into precision. The contrast triggers confidence in others, giving them permission to organize themselves. Calmness becomes contagious leadership. But the dark side waits patiently. Control without compassion hardens into arrogance, and arrogance shatters under true pressure. So train empathy alongside composure, the same way steel needs carbon and flexibility. Imagine a paramedic, calm because they care deeply, not because they're indifferent. That's mastery without ego. And here lies the third principle. Calmness only stays powerful if it's connected to purpose. Without purpose, it degrades into aesthetic detachment, a cold performance. Intelligent calm must serve something higher: truth, justice, or even communal sanity. Otherwise, it's theater. Write this wherever you can see it. Composure with purpose cannot be corrupted. Now witness what happens when confrontation escalates beyond words. When people try to weaponize guilt, shame, or chaos itself. In those moments, think of calmness as a psychological mirror. Everything they project bounces back for their own inspection. They blame you, they mock you, but without emotional feedback, they eventually face themselves. This phenomenon is uncomfortable to witness because it exposes the nature of power. Sometimes winning is nothing more than not losing yourself. That's the fourth principle, the silent boundary. The calm person ends the cycle of emotional debt. But stability has its tests, and one of the craftiest is performance testing. When others can't decode you, they may escalate. They will tell stories. You don't care. You're manipulating me. You're too calm. It's creepy. These accusations are the screams of uncertainty. The untrained mind sees stillness as danger because it cannot control it. Here you must hold firm, not by resisting, but by continuing to breathe at your rhythm. Speak with measured volume. Stand with open posture. When everything urges you to justify, you choose presence over persuasion. Paradoxically, justification erodes calm because it implies internal doubt. When you know your state is grounded in truth, you don't advertise it, you demonstrate it through consistency. This repetition, stability in the face of misunderstanding, builds what could be called psychological gravity. Over time, others orbit your steadiness. Their initial irritation turns into reliance, though you owe them no performance. That's the fifth principle. Consistency converts confusion into respect. Now, pause with intent. Think of every time you lost composure. The spiraling emails, the impulsive replies, the nights replaying the argument in your head. All of them came from one illusion, that you could control outcomes through speed or volume. But the real strategic move is deceleration. To slow down when the world speeds up is to seize invisible leverage. In negotiations, That might mean delaying your response by a day. In relationships, it might mean pausing before matching someone's tone. You don't delay to punish, you delay to reclaim authorship of pace. Whoever controls the tempo controls interpretation, and interpretation shapes reality. This is the sixth principle. Patience is power disguised as time. The immature see time as threat. The mature see it as ally. And when you stretch it with grace, chaos falls out of rhythm. Slowly, quietly, people start equating your presence with stability itself, until your mere entrance slows the velocity of conflict. Right now, breathe deeper than you did 30 seconds ago. Remind your body, calmness is not in the mind alone. It's bio-software trained through repetition. Every deep breath reprograms the story that you are reactive. You are not. You are deciding. You are designing. You've begun to see that calmness isn't emptiness, it's architecture, a structure invisible to most, supporting every interaction that seems spontaneous. And yet we still have two hidden chambers to explore, where this architecture turns kinetic, where calmness stops defending and starts defining. Hold that awareness steady, because the next revelation shows how composed intelligence molds possibility itself, not by silence alone, but by using stillness as a creative force that others cannot resist or even detect until they're moving in harmony with it.
The deeper you descend into this mastery, the more you realize that calmness doesn't just stop conflict, it begins to sculpt the meaning of conflict itself. You start to see that every argument, every tension, is really a negotiation over emotional leadership. Who gets to define what matters right now? Most people chase control by increasing pressure. The intelligent chase control by reducing heat. And that contrast creates psychological elegance. The same way an orchestra follows the conductor not because the baton is loud, but because it is precise. When you reach this level, you no longer seek to win. You engineer atmospheres where hostility simply loses its footing. Imagine being in a heated business pitch. Everyone's voices rise as budgets, rivals, and egos collide. You lean back slightly, fold your hands, lift your eyes just a fraction, and wait. In those 2 silent seconds, your calmness cuts the noise like a scythe. Others feel their breath mirror yours. The meeting shifts from chaos to clarity without a single order issued. That's your 7th principle in action, creating direction without demand. It's invisible leadership, and it happens through energy alignment more than authority assertion. Yet, this isn't mystical. It's neurosocial cause and effect. Humans subconsciously pick up the breathing rate, tone, and facial micro-expressions of whomever they regard as the calmest anchor. Thus, by mastering your micro-expressions, the angle of your jaw, the neutrality of your eyebrows, you become a lighthouse for nervous systems that have lost their way in emotional waves. You stop needing to prove anything because your very regulation is proof of competence. However, don't confuse this clarity with coldness. True poise doesn't isolate you from feeling. It deepens feeling until panic dissolves. You start to sense subtler emotional frequencies others miss. The early tremor of insecurity behind false confidence, the flicker of doubt behind aggression. Because your mind isn't flooded, it's observant. That sensitivity becomes your diagnostic power in interactions. Someone raises their voice. You don't flinch. You listen to the fear disguised beneath. Your calmness gathers intelligence, turning every encounter into information rather than collision.
Write this in the comments. I see emotion beneath reactions. That's your internal oath to perceive correctly. The eighth principle then dawns. Calmness generates creative optionality. Where reactive minds see only fight or flight, the composed mind sees 50 silent moves between. You realize disagreement doesn't equal distance, conflict doesn't equal collapse. You can pause, pivot, propose, paraphrase, all without losing respect on either side. People call it thinking fast, but in truth, you're thinking clearly because you're not fast. Speed can't outsmart serenity. Picture a chess grandmaster facing a loud rookie slamming moves on the board. The grandmaster doesn't match the noise. They absorb the pattern, then shift the entire rhythm with a single glacial slide of a piece. That slide is calm intelligence embodied. And once you start living that way, daily life changes texture. Traffic no longer spikes your pulse. It becomes rehearsal time. Confrontations at work become case studies. Even heartbreak becomes data, not devastation. You realize that every external storm is an unpaid training session. And without fanfare, you begin to radiate an aura that unsettles the insecure but inspires the disciplined. Some people might call you intimidating. Let them. Their fear is simply recognition that your calmness voids manipulation. Remember, emotional frenzy requires co-participants. You've resigned from that old contract. Here's the mantra to anchor now. I don't chase control. I create gravity. Repeat it slowly, because it expresses the essence of intelligent calm. Effortless pull born of internal coherence. As your coherence grows, you'll feel paradoxical effects. Fewer words, stronger impact. Fewer moves, greater influence. Fewer explanations, deeper respect. Even digital communication becomes different. Your text replies shorter, punctuation cleaner. That precision becomes your silhouette of authority. Others might attempt to provoke you into length, into justification, because the unregulated mind equates volume with strength. But deep calm knows the opposite. Power whispers. And when power whispers, the room leans to listen. You will see this in relationships too. Emotional calm kills toxic dynamics because toxicity needs oxygen. It feeds on unpredictable spikes. Your steady tone forces emotional accountability. Partners who value peace will align. Partners who crave drama will flee. That filtration is painful, but purifying. You learn not to fear loss. Its silence builds space for authenticity. You are no longer managing people's volatility. You are embodying an invitation for them to meet yours. Now, beyond all tactics and theories comes the ethical hinge that separates manipulation from mastery: intention. Every tool you've learned can either liberate or coerce. What anchors you in integrity is why you seek calm. Do you crave domination? Or do you seek elevation for yourself, for others, for the quality of interactions that define our shared world? Use composure to protect dignity, not to disguise deceit. Calmness should stabilize collective sanity, not exploit confusion. Repeat to yourself right now, my calm expands clarity. That's your ethical safeguard. And here's the greatest truth that Machiavellian minds often miss. When calmness channels empathy instead of ego, influence lasts. People might resist dominance, but they relax into reliability. Your serenity becomes tradition. Your presence becomes policy. We've now crossed nearly to the summit of this emotional architecture, where calmness doesn't just control moments, it creates meaning. You can feel it, can't you? The old reflexes already weakening, replaced by an almost cinematic steadiness humming beneath your ribs. That's your evolution solidifying. Yet one more transformation remains. The final ascent where calmness ceases to be reaction management and becomes personal myth, the symbol of who you are when every storm, every voice, every demand converges, and you, unshaken, turn that stillness into silent fire. Stay with that image as we move toward the culmination, where calmness meets courage and intelligence reshapes destiny itself.
And that is where your evolution lands, right here, in the still fire you've built from patience, self-command, and awareness that no one can take from you. You've crossed the line from learning calmness to being calmness, from managing reactions to mastering direction. So if this journey sparked something in you, if even one sentence made you breathe differently, think differently, feel your own power differently, then take a second to anchor it in action. Hit like right now as your silent oath to choose composure over chaos. Share this video with someone whose peace has been tested and who deserves to remember what stillness feels like. And if you want more content that turns psychology into power, philosophy into practicality, and darkness into self-control, then subscribe and keep climbing with us. This channel is the space where ruthless intelligence meets ethical strength, where you learn to win without losing your humanity. So breathe once more, steady and deep, because that's your initiation signal. You're officially among the few who understand that calmness isn't retreat, it's rulership. Like, share, subscribe. Stay deliberate, stay centered, and remember always, your calm isn't silence, it's authority.